Past inventions were always wild and surprising, but these 13 vintage creations will truly make you question history's sanity. Watch. Wooden swimsuits. Designed to make swimming easier, the wooden bathing suits invention were launched in Hacqueon, Washington, D.C. in 1929. The suits were made from wooden panels and were intended to propel floating and provide buoyancy. The invention was put aside as many complained that they were impractical and uncomfortable. Plus, they weren't exactly waterproof. Two-horn device. In 1921, before the invention of radar, experts used a two-horn listening device to spot distant aircraft. The footage captured the device in use at Boiling Field, Washington, D.C. It was developed for military applications, particularly during World War I and II. The horns captured the sound waves and channeled it towards a microphone. Revolver camera. Imagine having a gun that took pictures when triggered. Impossible, right? Not quite. The invention of a Colt 38 with an integrated camera that captures how victims looked before they took their last breath was a sinister idea. Here's an image of the device with 6 pictures that it captured when it was used. Leg X-ray. A footage of Nikola Tesla's leg in an X-ray machine that he had invented himself is one thing you wouldn't have expected. In the 1950s, the Serbian-American inventor had been experimenting with an X-ray machine with vacuum tubes and high-voltage electricity, producing the image you just saw. However, his X-ray invention didn't make the cut. Tip requesters. Invented by Russell Oakes in 1955, the automatic tip requesters, just as the name implied, were designed to request tips from customers. The device featured an artificial hand and a cash box with a no sales sign attached. The invention never became popular as people considered it to be rude to automatically request a tip. Baby cages. People were sure getting creative in the 1900s, and this invention proves it. A 1937 photograph showed a baby in a wire cage attached to a building's window. This was the solution for families that lived in apartment complexes and didn't have a garden. The baby cages ensured the babies got much-needed fresh air. Heated vest. In 1932, the U.S. came up with an innovation to keep its police officers warm during long hours of duty. The invention, called electrically heated vests, used an electric heating system made of metal strips and a battery pack. However, it was deemed impractical as officers needed to stay stationary so it could work. Snowstorm mask. The snowstorm mask was a novelty invention with limited use. Invented in Montreal, Canada in 1939, the mask, which was made of plastic, was used to protect the face from snowstorms. Most of the face was covered, leaving only slits for the eyes and mouth except for the nose, so snow couldn't enter. Comfort mower. Unveiled on the 14th of October 1957, the power mower of the future displayed a 5-foot plastic sphere with air cushion seating and other impressive features. The futuristic mower design looked more like a space vehicle than a regular lawnmower. However, it was discontinued at the prototype stage as a result of cost. Map makers. You're probably wondering how places got discovered and things got done before the invention of AutoCAD and/or GIS software. Well, the pre-AI era was more hands-on with map makers. A picture showed map makers tracing out locations on a huge sheet of paper in the 1950s. They appeared to be using draft tools. Butcher shop. During the Victorian era, between 1837 to 1901, butcher shops sold fresh meats and displayed different kinds of animals in their storefront. This recently uncovered photograph showed one of said butcher shops that existed back then. You can see the meat hanging out of the large windows and everywhere around the building. Vibrating bras. Displayed at Brussels' 20th International Show of Inventions in 1971, the vibrating bras were designed to vibrate and enhance the bust area. The inventors believed that the vibrating process could stimulate breast tissues, thereby enhancing breast firmness and growth. However, there was no evidence to support the claims, so it was dumped.